time for us to face the facts about the European Union, the solution that creates more problems than it solves. This is only a small portion of the bureaucracy that defines the EU. As an overarching supranational organization, the EU robs individual nations of their sovereign rights. The massive cost of running the EU includes overpaid bureaucrats, monstrous budgets, and a variety of other irresponsible expenses. In the past 10 months alone, the EU has splurged over 140 billion euros on a mere 500 million EU residents. The cost of supplying Irish translators for the European Parliament alone is an astronomical 677,000 euros. That's for just 1 out of 24 officially recognized languages. A major portion of EU spending goes to common agricultural policy. As you can see by this pie chart, the amount of arable land varies drastically from country to country. Thus, the portion agriculture makes up of a nation's economy varies drastically from country to country. This policy is not only ineffective for many EU nations, it also leads to higher consumer prices and product oversupply. In addition to this obscene expenditure, this twofold oversight slows innovation and productivity in individuals and nations. No two European nations have the same economy. Eurozone countries are hindered on an economic basis by disproportionate economies. Eurozone interest rates have been known to skyrocket unexpectedly and limit fiscal policy options. The limit of these options makes it difficult for countries to alter their policies in a recession to catch up with other Eurozone countries and economies. Additionally, the euro lacks scope for devaluation and increased individual nations' risk of recession. The numerous free trade agreements the EU has implemented over the years have trapped European economies for too long. Free trade stunts the development of domestic industries in individual nations and threatens domestic stability. As you can see in this graph, more often than not, free trade agreements from the EU create trade deficits rather than improving economies. The increased competition to lower product prices created by free trade leads to the exploitation of people and the environment worldwide. Free trade does not hold large corporations accountable for the ways they create their product. It merely favors the most efficient process. In 2008, 91% of citizens polled felt more attached to their European nation than to the EU. With migration in the EU increasing yearly, individual traditions are being lost in a sea of cultures. Wealthier nations are experiencing an influx of migrants, weighing down on their heritage and their economies. Is Europe a melting pot or a salad bowl? It is clear that the European Union is no longer a viable solution, but rather, at best, a questionable conductor of the European community's bureaucracy, economics, and culture.